when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go.
Kyle Mohan Racing. We're at the shop, we're hanging out, and we're going to put in a little bit of work, a little bit of cleanup into our old SEMA build, the wide body twin turbo RX7 FD3S. One of my favorite builds we've ever done. This wasn't a drift car. We built it strictly for show, some go. It makes lots of power. We're going to get it on the dyno soon. But before we do, I had to tighten up the bodywork, clean things up, make a few updates, and we actually got a different set of wheels. The wheels that are on the car right now, you can see they don't fit that well. That's because these were not the wheels we showed at SEMA. We've also got a little interior work, cleanup to do, some last wiring. So this is kind of just a continuation of the last video we did where we were talking a little bit about the build. Now we're going to get into a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of work. And that's exactly what we have here. One of the first steps, we had to remove some of our old partners. Fantastic people. We love everybody we work with. But this car now is going to get a little freshening. So we're going to re-debut some partners, change things up. And, you know, great people, but we got to clean it up. We got to make improvements. We got to move on. The wheels on there, as you can see, a little dirty, old tires, so we got some brand new Federals. We've got those WP Pro brakes with scalloped rotors, probably a quick brake bleed as those tires are off. And then we also had a little bit of loose body work. This LRB under tray never quite fit the BN Sports body kit properly, and that's not LRB's fault. It was made to fit more of an OEM or mild aftermarket setup. Ours is very aggressive. We knew that going in, that this wasn't going to fit perfectly. But two things we hope to accomplish. One is help the ducting and airflow for that V-mount. We want to get the air out the bottom. And then as you can see there, we need to make some braces so we can actually solidify up the front nose. Every time I started to drive this car fast, it's super low to the ground, the front nose started to pull down with airflow and actually scrape. So that beautiful BN Sports front lip was actually getting some scrapes, and I didn't want that to happen. So this whole LRB under tray is going to tie things together and give us better airflow for that V-mount setup. On the side panels, we're gonna have to make modifications. They're really cool. I love LRB's stuff. But in our case, because we're a custom build, custom bodywork, custom V-mount, I'm going to end up making some modifications, but still starting off with their kit has really been helpful, and instantly we were already seeing not only the strength that it was inherently giving to the front bumper, but also the ease it was going to give us. Our oil lines, our chassis, you know, a little different than OEM, so you can see right there we're going to have to either move those oil lines or make a slight modification to the panel. I think we're probably going to leave the oil lines and make a slight modification to the panel, but I'm still kind of deciding on how that's all going to work out. But way stronger, way more rigid. I'm confident in being able to, you know, drive this around a little bit now, and we're not even finished with the strengthening and the ducting. So definitely some improvements already going on. That rotor ducting, definitely not only a cool look, but a great way to get that air out as it flows in through the front and is split between radiator intercooler and oil coolers. Shout out to Mishimoto for the cooling package there. And it was great to be able to bolt items in. Using an OEM FD3S radiator allowed us to use the OEM fans. Again, you know, this was a car I wanted to build as something a little more accessible to everybody else, with the drift cars being so custom. We wanted to use some off-the-shelf items. I guess the radiator and fans and some of that cooling package being part of that. Same thing with the OEM fuel tank. We've got a drop-in triple pump radium setup with a flex fuel sensor. If you follow the channel, you know I love ethanol. This is a flex fuel car, so we'll be able to run it on gasoline or ethanol or a combination thereof. Rotaries, I know a lot of people always ask, how do you keep them reliable? I think simply put, make sure fuel delivery and octane is there, and make sure to keep them cool, both oil and water. So we're focusing on some of that ducting up in the nose, as well as, drivability, making sure the bodywork is no longer a loose item. And then as we continue to progress and get ready for the tuning, we're going to start to finish up the fuel system and some of the other drivetrain. We've already got a Exedy double disc clutch. We've already got the Haltech ECU. We do need to wire in a couple more of our auxiliary gauges, and this is all in effort to get this car back on the dyno with Nelson Savario, our tuner, tuned by Nelson S. Make sure to follow him, check that out. I'll put the link down below. And if anybody is interested, I know a lot of people have asked about the body kit. It's a BN Sports kit, and I can help with bringing those into the country. Mastermind helped us with that, and we're good friends with them. Anytime anybody needs like a BN Sports kit, anything from Japan, just let us know. KMR can help out. And all the OEM parts, all of our hard parts for the chassis, the motor, coming from Mazda Tricks. So a little more cleanup both on the exterior and interior as we finalize this car and get it back on the dyno for a little more fun. I'm really excited. I always like to have an auxiliary oil pressure gauge to back up the digital dashes, everything that's data acquisition when you're first starting the car, and a little bit more to tighten up on the bodywork, but generally everything is looking good. I'm getting excited. We got to get the wheels back on this car. Like I always say, comment below, stay brapping, have a good time. It's all about the rotary, and thanks for watching. More videos coming. Follow K.